Hey guys, we're here from Harmonix. I'm John. People on stage are all devs. We're from the community team, the audio team, and the production team. Here to play some Rock Band 3 to you, talk to you a little about some of the bigger picture stuff in Rock Band 3, but also some of the cool little features that make it the revolutionary and redefining music title that it is for 2010, this holiday for Xbox 360, PlayStation 3, and Nintendo Wii. And that's the end of the marketing spiel. So Rock Band 3, Harmonix, developers of the Rock Band franchise, have always sort of been the category leader in innovating and adding crazy new stuff to the experience of interacting with music. And this game is no different. It's in fact sort of bigger and better than ever. We have, I think, 3 or 4 games sort of crammed into one game. So we'll try to touch on all that really quickly and talk about the different audiences that it speaks to. But more importantly, from the top of it all, we need to talk about the music. Because that's why you buy a game like this. You don't buy it to play songs you don't know. So we have 83 great songs in the set list on this disc. We have 22 of them here today for you to get a hands on. They are unbelievable. Some of our biggest songs of all time. So we have newer stuff like Metric, Walking on the Sun by Smash Mouth. We have some White Stripes. We have older stuff like Jimi Hendrix. We have, what am I forgetting? I Love Rock and Roll by Joan Jett. We have Bohemian Mother Effin' Rhapsody, which is unbelievable. And we have it with keyboards and harmonies the way it's meant to be played. Otherwise, what would be the point? So we're really excited about the setlist for this game, but more importantly, we have backwards compatibility with all of your Rock Band content that you already have. So if you have downloadable content or exported discs or track packs, all that stuff's going to work within Rock Band 3, meaning that today on the floor you can play 1,500 songs in Rock Band 3 if you wanted, and by launch we're expecting to have 2,000 songs. So that's a little ridiculous. We're pretty excited about it, but the game is just a huge, sprawling, awesome game with a lot of great stuff, and it has something for everybody. You may have seen now we already had cymbals on stage for the drums, simple notation for our pro drums mode. I was playing a keyboard, we have 3-part harmonies, and we have a whole pro mode that we'll get to at the end, which is probably the most exciting thing happening in the music genre, and something that only we are doing right. So this is probably the most exciting music game in years, but let's talk about sort of what it is. First, you may have seen All Instruments mode. We were just playing in All Instruments mode. It lets you play with 7 players locally, so you can play guitar, bass, drums, vocals, another vocal, and a keyboard all at the same time. 7 players in one living room. Pretty unbelievable. We're really excited about that. We sort of touched on that with Beatles, but to expand into all this content, it's really exciting. I guess we're already in the main menu, so we can talk right now about what we're calling the Overshell, which is a new design, which you can see on screen right now, which is that we have at the bottom tab, each individual controller that's signed in right now has their own custom menu. They can tailor and toggle in real time no matter what menu they're in. Now this adds drop in and drop out functionality. Goodbye, bass. There you go. Which is really cool. Yeah, thanks, Aaron. See you later. Have a good break. We're really cool. We're really excited about this because it's not just in a party mode that you can drop in and drop out. It's persistent through the whole game in the song select screen, in the main menu, which means if you are having a Rock Band party and you want to, you may have previously experienced that you have the problem of like you have some friends over, some people have some drinks, and all of a sudden you're trying to do a matchmaking screen, right, where you're trying to sign people in and out, and like your drummer is just like banging on the kit because you invited Billy, and you knew Billy's an asshole, but he's just like, he loves hitting stuff. And so Billy is backing in on the menus, and you're like, we shouldn't have brought him here. And then with the Overshell now, you can get to the song select screen and Billy can do whatever he wants, and then right before you start the game, you can just drop him in and sort of keep him cloistered in his little terrible drum solo world. The other great part about the Overshell is it frees up all this real estate on screen. So you can see now we have our custom characters build our brand new Rock Band 3 character creator, which has sort of been reskinned from the ground up. And they look awesome, and they are strutting down the street like badasses, because that's how they roll. And this actually brings you a lot closer to your characters. They're sort of persistent through the world when you create them, which means as they grow and sort of level up and change venues over time, they leave their hometown and become sort of, international superstars. This background that they'll be in will change from this to a desert scene to some train tracks to backstage at a show, and you'll always sort of see them existing in this world, and you get to feel really attached to these characters you've customized. The other great thing about that is that they also star in little vignettes throughout the game that'll pop up in the narrative. So as you play through the game, you get these sort of band moments that we've pulled from our tour experiences and stories that we've heard that all sort of relate to what it's like to be in a persistent band that lives together and does this crazy stuff. So we're really excited about all the ways that your characters fit together, and we'll want you to grab on and try to make them the best they can be. So let's go into the song list now and talk about that. So with 2,000 songs, we have a lot of work to do to make sure you can actually manage your library. That's a lot of music to go through, and scrolling one song at a time is not a viable option unless you want to wait 3 hours to play The Who. So we added a filtering system instead of a sorting system. So now if you want to see only songs from Rock Band 3, and Allie backs up now, she get back to the main menu, and those are only songs from Rock Band 3. So you see at the top it says viewing 22 of 1166 songs. So we've now said, I want to put the new songs I just got on this disc. You can take all your DLC and hide it for a minute and scroll through. If you go back to the sorting, we can now say, okay, I also only want songs from the 80s. Let's start go to the songs from the 80s. 180 songs from the 80s on my console. And then maybe let's do only short songs. I have a really narrow attention span the second day of E3. So we've now limited it from 1,166 songs down to one song by just sort of guessing a couple options we might want. And it's I Love Rock and Roll, and I Love Rock and Roll is awesome, but we're not going to play it right now. So it's really exciting to do that. You can have family-friendly songs only. You can have songs that only have keyboard support if you don't want to, if you just bought a new keyboard peripheral, you want to play on that. You can have the never-ending epic songs only, or your favorite metal songs. So there's a ton of ways to filter your content. So if you have these thousands of songs on your console, you can really customize what you're seeing on screen and choose from. It's been really helpful doing demos, and we think it's going to be really fun for our players when it comes out. Also, we have a great song rating feature in the game. So you may have played previous titles and had to play Say It Ain't So over and over and over again because it popped up a random set list no matter how many times you played it. Now you get to rate your songs when you're finished. And if you rate a song highly, say 5 letters, that song will come up more and more often in random set lists. If you rate a song low, it'll sort of be hidden from you. It won't pop up all the time. And then you can also sort by rating. So if you wanted to see your favorite songs you've played through, you can sort of pop it up as a menu option, which is really exciting. It also works inside of our song recommendation engine. So we're actually going to have a way to recommend other songs in the Rock Band catalog that you might want to check out from what you've liked and what you've been playing, which we're really excited about. You know, with a music library as dominant as ours and as huge as ours, it's hard to navigate with a controller. So we want to try to steer you to the greatest songs that you'll enjoy. And then last but not least, inside of our music library, before we get back to the fun playing of instruments, we have set lists now. And you may say, well, we had set lists before. That's a stupid point to bring up. I hate this demo. And I'd say, hold on, wait a second, I'm getting there. So in set list in Rock Band 3, you can actually save your set list for the first time. So you want to make your ultimate metal set list, make it, save it whenever you want to go back to it if they're on your console. We have some built-in set lists like Drummer's Delight or starting out with Pro Guitar. And then the other cool thing is you can share set lists with your friends. You can challenge them to play your set list. It's sort of our challenge system now. Instead of our daily tour, we have our daily challenges. We now have you can challenge your friends over Facebook or Twitter or through rockband.com to beat your punk rock guitar set list. And more importantly, if you're at work and your boss has made you do some terrible stuff and you're bored, you go into rockband.com and make a set list and push it to your console. So when you get home, you'll be ready to rock on whatever you've been queuing up, and that's pretty exciting too. So we're really pumped about that. That's sort of all the new little tiny menu features we just wanted to get out there before we move on to sort of some broader stuff. So really quickly, we'll talk about one more thing and then we'll jump into keyboard stuff. Yeah. So Rock Band 3, I think I mentioned sort of like 3 or 4 games in one. The first game is sort of for the casual player, for our party player who wants to have fun on the weekends, play for a couple hours, get a pizza and some beer and just have a good time, or play with their kids or whatever. Don't give your kids beer. And in that case, we have all instruments mode, 7-player, drop in, drop out, no fail. We have no fail persistent. You can turn it on and off for individual players, which is really exciting. And sort of maybe most importantly, we have party shuffle mode, which lets you jump right in with one button and just start playing songs. And the game will just spit new songs at you. You can skip over it with one button and just get right into playing. So if you're not into the hardcore aspects, you can just have fun with Rock Band, more music, more instruments. It's really great. But if you are sort of the hardcore gamer and you want to sort of fight through a campaign, you want to get all the goals, get all the achievements and the gamer score, we've changed our campaign now to be sort of a persistent career mode across the entire game tied to your profile. So that means no matter where you are in the game, if you're in the trainers or quick play or road challenges, you're always unlocking these little nuggets of points for your character and unlockable items and sort of progressing down the path for your overall career. So if you want to become the ultimate guitarist, there's a path for that. If you want to become the greatest keyboard player, there's a way to get to that goal. Try not to say there's a path for that over and over again and knock off Apple, sorry. So we're really excited about that. And then in between, we have sort of the Rock Band faithful, right, who are hardcore players, but they're really just in it to play Rock Band with a band once in a while and get really into it and have a great night of like a single Rock Band night that they kick ass at. And for that, we have road challenges, which is sort of replacing our career mode. And in that case, you bring your friends over, and instead of having a persistent endless band world tour, you have a little chunk of like 2 to 4 hours in one night, where it's like an East Coast tour or a punk rock clubs tour, and you play through it. And when you're done with that, you've sort of beaten Rock Band for the evening. And that's a really new sensation and a really cool thing to do, to be able to basically plow through with 6 of your closest friends and just own a tour in an evening and walk away having won. So we're really excited about that. So just to recap, we have 3 sort of big audiences. The game sort of has enough stuff for everybody. We have a crazy amount of music, and it's not all about the keyboard and the guitar. But now that we're at this part of the demo, we should talk about the keyboard and the guitar because they are unbelievable in their own right. So I'm gonna step over here, and I'm gonna do some double duty right now and play Sister Christian.